Hello, Taurus. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, using the Thoth, maybe the Toth, I'm probably saying it wrong either way, which I've said in most videos, by Aleister Crowley. I never think to, yeah, I'm just going to keep going. And I'm going to use the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen, for the supportive Oracle cards. Doo-doo-doo. Put those up there. Those are curious cards. Oh, yes. Here, and then there, and then there. So, the situation is interesting. There's certain things going on directly in front of you, but there's things going on around you that you're not, like, you're not seeing things happen, but you're seeing, like, the effects of them, is what I'm thinking is happening. What number is that? When we're coming into the situation, you have the Magician, and you have the Joy card as well. Okay. What I'm feeling with this is it's kind of like you're very happy with where things are, and you're kind of like, well, I gotta let people do what they want, or at least think they're doing what they want. But I have to kind of move this forward in a certain way. I have to kind of control the pace. And if I can control the pace, as things get added in, I can kind of decide whether I like that or I don't like that. Does it match where we're going? Does it not match where we're going? And I can move it where I need to. If it doesn't seem to be right, I can kind of let it sort of linger for a minute and kind of phase it out. If it seems like it fits, I can kind of like slowly add it in and kind of reinforce it. That's your energy I'm feeling, but it's a very positive energy. Like, we need to have success here. You're looking at this like there's a goal, and it's like other people have their ideas, but you're like, I don't want anybody, messing this up to where we fail. So it's not a malicious energy. It's a very positive energy because you got Joy here, and that's why I feel like they're reinforcing this with that. Like, if I can control the pace and keep it going at a comfortable pace for me, we'll let things try. And in fact, I'll give some things a shot. Maybe I don't think it'll work, but we'll give it a shot. We'll kind of leave it at a slow level. If it seems to be working, we'll try it a little more. If it's not really helping or adding to the situation, then we're going to kind of phase it out. You're giving things a fair shake, though, because I feel like you're giving things a fair shake. You're not looking to be a dictator. That's what I'm getting. And I'm getting the Six of Swords, or Six of Wands. Six of Discs. It's interesting. I'm getting like the Six of Pentacles is give and take is what I'm getting. That makes more sense to me. They have the word success here. It doesn't really match with what I'm currently feeling, so I'm just going to go with where my energy is going, just to be fair, because I'm getting some give and take here. The way this is coming together, it's like going through this labyrinth, like things are adding in, going through and like, giving some help here where needed, getting some help where needed. And there's a lot of give and take. Like, people are giving into the situation, saying this is what I think should happen. You're giving into that a little bit and giving it a shot, but if it doesn't work, you're phasing it out. If it does work, of course, you're going to add it in and reinforce it, but it has to prove that it's going to work first. And I feel like that's how this is starting. It's a little like, there's a little weird energy with it, kind of like you're getting some pushback. People just kind of want more than they can get right off the bat. They're like, no, let's start off at this level. Like, let's start off at level 10. You're like, well, we're going to start at level 2, and we're going to try up to level 3. And if it keeps going well, we'll slowly increment it up to 10, as long as it's profitable and working for this situation. It's got to prove itself first. So there's a little bit of coming in with it, but it's not that bad. You're like, yeah, I've heard this before. You're fine. Calm down. I don't know why it's coming across that way, because it's a little like, all right, yeah, I know. Come on, just give it a chance. Let's just make sure. I will let it come in. I will help it actually reinforce, but I need to see the proof that it's going to actually work first. There's a little bit of discord with it. A little bit. You got a good plan. The way you're coming into it is slow. Well, I don't want to say it's completely slow. It's got a certain pace. How's that? But there's a pace you seem to be in control of. You got the soulmate card on your side. It's at a certain rate. You're comfortable with this rate. All right, let's try this. Now it's offbeat. Let's kind of get rid of that. Oh, well, no, then we could try it a little more. No, it's really not working. Let's get rid of that. But sooner or later, some things will be like, all right, yeah. No, I like that. Yeah, no, we can. Okay, let's try a little bit. Yeah, I guess this is good. And you let it kind of go in. You're reluctant to really add too much in, is what I'm also getting. But you're being very careful. Like, success is the goal here. So if it's really helping or adding or improving the success, okay. But if it's just kind of there, just hanging out, it's not really hurting it, but it's just kind of hanging out, you might be a little bit more apprehensive to allow it to linger. Even though it may not be hurting the situation, if it's not adding, you're just kind of like, I don't know. We might get rid of that too, because why have extra here if it's not really warranted? Okay. You are allowing some things that like are not necessary. You are allowing some things that are not necessary, as long as they don't have a detriment. All right. And the only reason you're doing that is to make other people happy. Like, if it's not hurting the situation, but it's not really adding to it, but other people like it, okay, fine. Like, to a point. Because you're like, we're not going to go crazy here. They got Recovery and Prince of Swords. Like, I do feel like they're constantly coming at you, and you're like, well, if this appeases them a little bit, you know what I mean? Especially with the Recovery, like, they're trying to get some more out of this that they want. They're trying to make, it's almost like painting a room a different color. You're like, well, listen, I don't want any bright colors, but if you get something fairly muted, all right, whatever. And you don't want green, you don't want blue. You want orange. Well, if it's really dulled out, if we can dull out the orange, put maybe a little brown tint to it so it kind of dulls it out a little bit. Okay, I guess we can do that. It's fine. Not killing me. It's fine. All right. It's like not really the color I want, but okay. It keeps other people happy, or you'll go with it. Is what I'm getting. As long as it's not holding things back. As this situation keeps going, something very noticeable is happening. You're getting more and more attached to it. The more and more attached to it you get, the more and more effort you put into it. You're the one who seems to be putting in the majority of the effort. The situation is also going very, very well. Abundance is happening here, but the workaholic on your side is kind of like it's going the way you think it should. You're getting very emotionally invested. You're liking this because you're like, yeah, we got success here. Yeah, it's going well. And the better it goes, the more it goes the way you like it to. See, it's like those are going hand in hand. It's succeeding and you're enjoying the success because it's going at a tempo that you expect. Like, things are going as you expect them to. You're getting more and more invested in it. And there's a lot of abundance here. I'm noticing the guilt in the environment. Like, other people aren't as connected as you are. I feel like people are trying to keep up. I don't feel like they can. And they're kind of like, I feel some people are bewildered. Because it's almost like you have this side judgment that's incorrect. Like, people are thinking that you move slowly and you go slowly. You move. It's not that you're slow. It's that you move at a sure. Like, when you know where to stop and you get it down and you got the pattern down. The more used to the pattern you get, the faster you go. And it's the fact that you're kind of working circles around people. They're kind of looking at you like they don't understand it because I feel like these are people who prejudged you a certain way. And you're showing that you have a lot of umph, and like when you know what you're doing and it's where you think it should be and you believe in something, you're very quick when you need to be. But you know what you're doing. You have that. You know it like the back of your hand at this point. So yeah, you can go fast. There's like this guilt, like they misjudged you, and I feel like there's a little guilt with that. The Five of Cups comes in with the quest. Like, I feel like other people can't keep up. And they're having issues with that. They're trying to find other ways to make up for it. They're having issue with it, is what I'm getting. I'm trying to keep these in focus, but I'm me. They're trying to. But what I'm getting the quest with the Five of Cups is like, they just can't keep up. They just can't. I don't see you getting upset about it, though. You're just kind of like, yeah, well, this is my thing. That's kind of how it is. It's like, this is my thing. People are constant. I almost feel like people trying to help you, people trying to do better, trying to do more, it tends to more get in your way than anything else. Like, it's almost like if they would just keep doing what they were doing and let you do what you're doing, that would work more successfully. It feels like the more they try to make up for it, try to do something to get up to your level, the more they just get in your way. I just don't feel like it's working. And I'm getting, like, you're trying to let people know, like, listen. Listen, you don't have to do that. Like, you're actually just getting in my way. Let's just keep going it the same way. I'll do what I do. You do what you do. Let's not try to, don't shake the boat. I'm not expecting you to. It gets to a point, though, like, I feel like people are getting in your way. Like, people are trying to prove their worth, and by proving their worth, they're getting in your way. There's going to come a point where I feel like there's a redistribution of what's happening. Like, people are like, they want to be more involved, and they don't feel like they're involved enough. It seems to be your show because you're going so quickly, and you know what you're doing, but you know what you're doing. This is where it's ending. Expansion with impasse. Because it needs to go into the next level. And I feel like going into the next level, you're okay, but the people you're dealing with, the energy you're dealing with is actually where I'm feeling the problem. I feel like people are constantly getting in your way, which is slowing you up. And it's causing problems. This is the Ten of Wands. No, this is the Ten of Swords. Yep, Ten of Swords. So that's going to be a big problem. I feel like the people trying to prove their worth is going to get in your way, and that's going to be a big problem at some point. I feel like that's the whole thing with this. That's the whole thing about this reading. Like, you got to be aware of it when it starts. When people are trying to get up to your level and they're getting in your way, when that starts happening, it may just seem like it's an annoyance in the beginning, but that's going to cause, like, a gear lock. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the gears were going fine, and then all of a sudden they're kind of, like, dragging a little bit. And the more they try to get up to your level, there's all of a sudden it's just going to lock, and it's not going to move. It's just going to go. It's just not going to go anywhere. I don't know what you need to do because I'm trying to find it, but they're saying it's going to depend on your situation. You got to address it, and you got to realign this situation as soon as it starts happening, because the farther it goes, the worse it's going to get until it's finally going to cause like gridlock. That's what I'm getting, like gear jam, something. Gear jam, gridlock, however you want to look at it. The Ten of Swords is there. As soon as you see it happening, it's got to be addressed. It has to be looked at it a different way. They have to stop that. Like, even if you have to give up some of the stuff you're doing and pull it back a bit, like, even if that's what has to be done, like, all right, you do that, I'll stop doing that, you do that, just so we don't get in each other's way, because I feel like they're getting in your way, and if it goes too far, literally it's going to cause gridlock. So that's the whole thing with this reading. I literally think that's the whole thing with this reading, what you're supposed to get out of it. Before it gets to gridlock, address it. And if you have to give up some stuff or they have to back off, it has to be addressed when it starts happening, so people don't keep continually getting each other's way, because it could implode the situation. There's a lot of energy with that. Like, it gets very upsetting. But if you nip it in the bud, and you're kind of like keep it on point, like, all right, you do that. It's supposed to be yours anyway. I was just trying to help. I thought it would work. Take it back. I will leave it alone. It's got however you see, you're going to see where the possible, crossing of the roads, like there's no stop signs. Like, there's two roads and there's no stop signs. You're like, you can see it. Like, that's what you see coming up ahead of you. Like, oh, there's two roads here and there's no stop signs. I'm not going to want to stop, but I bet you nobody else is either. It's like calling it out before you get to that intersection with no stop signs. Like, okay, either we got to choose two sides to have stop signs, or we have to have a four-way stop, something, because this is going to be a problem. It's going to be bad. We're going to have, like, a Ten of Swords moment is bad. It's not fun. It's not fun. Okay, I think I'll let it go, because I think I beat it to death enough. All right, hopefully that helps. I hope that comes to you at the right time so you can, like, avoid that. So, thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.